Hey, I'm Brian Van, sportbiketrackyou.com, and today we're going to give you a close-up look at a pair of Alpinestars GP Pro R3 gloves my son Max crashed in twice at his last WERA race. Okay, the GP Pro R3 gloves, that is the latest and greatest high-end race glove from Alpinestars. We put Max into all new gear this season. The kid keeps getting bigger, and these gloves were the ones that we chose. He crashed twice in the wet, once in the bowl, losing the front, once in the bus stop with losing the rear. Not a full high side, but he lost the rear. In a missile suit, these gloves, and Super Tech R boots, of course, with the Tech Air System vest, which was phenomenal. He really enjoyed that because it worked. Just want to give you a quick look here at the gloves. They held up well. These are going to be good to go moving forward. We don't need to replace these at this point. I've given them a really good inspection, looked at all the seams, different spots. The gloves are still in great shape. You can see that we do have some black marks here. That's going to be rubber from the racetrack that's transferred onto the cuff of the glove. You can see we do have a little wear there on the palm slider. A little discoloration there in the thumb. But the rest of the glove is pretty good. And one of the things I tried to instill in the kid when we started riding on the track was, if you fall down, you don't fall down like this ever. You know, you want to just let it happen, especially in a low state. You want to let it happen and just try to get to your back and even try to get your head up so you don't ding your helmet, which unfortunately he was not able to do. But you want to try and get your hands up so that your extremities aren't out there flailing around because they're very vulnerable, right? But still, he did have a little bit of contact. You can see there. You can see just the tiniest little bit on this palm slider as well. They did a great job. I thought this would be valuable feedback for riders out there trying to decide which glove or which suit to purchase. If you have a pair of these and you've fallen in them, right, feel free to share your feedback with us here on the YouTube channel. Just leave it in the comments section. It just helps other riders make a good decision. Something I do want to say too that's really important, I said this with the suit. Gloves are really a unique item. Number one, they have to fit properly if you want them to protect you, right? If they're overly large, it's going to reduce their ability to protect you. If they're overly tight, you're going to strain the seam so much that it increases the possibility of them blowing out in the event of a crash, okay? Try not to put your hands down. That's a really big deal. Try to just get on your back or your side and slide. And also condition of the gloves. One of the things I've seen over the years so many times is somebody will spend, I think these are just over $200, and that is a lot of money, and I respect that. But there's dudes and ladies who ride so much, especially in the heat of the summer, and you're out there riding on the racetrack, just strangling that thing. What are you touching it with? Well, you're touching it with your hands, your gloves. Tons of sweat goes into them, tons of fatigue. Make sure you're inspecting your gloves all throughout the season. And if they really start to look shitty, I know you don't want to hear this, you need to replace them. If you ride them when the condition is just deteriorating, right, and you fall in them, it reduces their ability to protect you dramatically. So always keep an eye on your gloves. When I come back here, we take the gear bag, we unpack it. I've got a little shelf over here in the video room. I just set the helmets with the visor up. I set the gloves are in here, the boots are in here, the suits are hanging up on a Z-rack. It smells a little bit like a locker room, but it allows the gear to breathe. It's not sitting in the bag, and it's really going to help to extend its life. And I would recommend that you treat your stuff the same way, but focus on that pre-ride inspection and don't be afraid to replace the gloves. A good rule of thumb, too, is, like, say if Max had a second pair, if you have a pair, you've worn them, and you're like, man, these are really starting to look haggard, but you haven't crashed in them, they've not blown apart, put those to the side and use those for rain gloves. It's just so much more likely, as Max found out, that you crash in the rain. Put those to the side, wear the new ones on your good dry days. On the days when you're going out and it's rainy, pull out the old gloves and use those instead. That way you can still get some use out of them before you finally throw them in the garbage. I'm Brian Van, SportbikeTrackYou.com.